Well, 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 well. Welcome back to my channel, in which I'm clearly just doing what I want at the moment. Yet more proof that podcasting equipment should be expensive, should maybe even be illegal. Ned Fulmer of the Try Guys now has a podcast called Rock Bottom. What a loser. You're such a loser, man. Cool. What was that? 60 seconds? I lasted 60 seconds before insulting someone. What a freak. Oh, let's read the thing actually. Look, the first episode is a conversation with Ariel Fulmer, his wife, ex-wife, that he cheated on. Everyone makes mistakes. Some of us, really big ones. Go away. But what comes next? Who cares? Rock Bottom is a show that explores people's lowest, most embarrassing and challenging moments. Maybe I should go on there. This video is my rock bottom. Featuring raw, unfiltered conversations with comedians, creators, authors, and celebrities. Yeah, right. We talk about how they not only survived it all, but transformed their lives. Is this cancel culture? Hosted by Ned Fulmer, the ex-BuzzFeed Try Guys co-creator whose own Rock Bottom ranked number 6 of Time's most viral moments of 2022. Why are you proud? Why are you proud of that? Like, bro is clearly obviously proud of it. Because what if like my rock bottom moment got in the news, I wouldn't be like, oh my god, it was like one of the most viral moments though. Like, fuck off. The show blends curiosity and empathy to tell stories of experience, strength, and hope. Blow it out the other end, my dude. Because sometimes the only way out is through one podcast at a time. Make podcasting equipment more expensive or illegal at this point. Follow us. Look. He's stacked it. He's absolutely stacked it already. Like, bro, this was not on a whim. Bro is taking this seriously. Bro wants those brand deals back. You know what I mean? It's just sad. It's just pathetic. You can get a job outside of I'm joking. The internet is kind of like for everyone, I suppose. But still, this is just pathetic. So, without further ado, let's watch and mock and whatever.
Hi, I'm Ned Fulmer.
Leave me alone.
3 years ago, I cheated on my wife with my producer.
Why is he sounding like that and looking like that? Leave me alone.
It became a massive public scandal that caused a lot of pain to a lot of people. I know that I represented myself as a kind of wife guy who talked about his relationship and put that out there for public consumption. And you, as a viewer,
He's freaking me out. He's giving me like Uncanny Valley Mark Zuckerberg. Though recently I've kind of decided that I sort of like Mark Zuckerberg because he's so hopeless and weird. Did anyone see that new Meta event showcase thing that they did? He's so strange. Also, I'm taller than him. I always think that means if I'm taller than someone, I could intimidate them, like no matter who they are. Anyway.
I know that I broke your trust.
You didn't break my trust, buddy. I don't care about you. This guy, oh my god, he's so self-important. I broke your trust. Like, who are you talking to? I'm being facetious. I know he's talking to his like fans or former audience members, but still, like, you broke the trust of your wife, my guy.
I betrayed my spouse, co-workers, friends, family, and...
Is this his first public statement since all of it? Because the Try Guys, the three of them obviously did that sit-down thing where they got mad, and then there was the SNL skit, like, of Friends of Ned Fulmer's. Is this the first time that he's... I don't care to look, to be honest.
And I betrayed you.
Wow, I can't believe it was 3 years ago. So much has happened since then.
And I know it's not just about cheating, that I was a company owner and having a relationship with a producer who was engaged and friends with all of our friends and coworkers. It was understandably a messy and devastating situation for everyone involved.
I'm just laughing at the thoughts going through my head that I can't possibly repeat right now. But kind of amazed. I am amazed at the audacity of men. Is it that men are just... Don't turn this into a men versus women thing, please. But, like, bro found two women who are willing to sleep with him whilst he's got all of the aura of, I don't know, like a wet sponge. You know when like your towels are wet and then you don't hang them up properly and then just get like they just stay a little bit damp. He's a damp towel, and yet two women were like hitting that. Amazing. No, wait, not amazing. Sorry.
And I can't change it. I can't change the past. I can own it and accept it and try to change how I show up differently in the future.
Honestly, Ned, this is quite boring. Can you speed it up? Did you hear that swallow? I swear I've woken up, right, in the past few months that like I Steins Gated and changed world timelines again, and I moved to a timeline where you can just so easily hear every like swallow and click and like saliva and like whatever, like tongue rubbing against teeth in everyone now. I swear it wasn't, and it's doing my head in. It sets off my misophonia. I swear this wasn't so much of a thing before. Like, I can hear when I swallow now. What's going on? I've moved to a slightly worse timeline that only really affects me rather than anyone else.
So, I wanted to say that I'm sorry. I hurt you.
Have you considered getting into ASMR? Like, why are you doing this? Play to your strengths. You've got like a little weird, wispy vocal fry going on. Some people are into that. There are some, you could dress up, cosplay. There are some ASMR creators who do that kind of thing. You know, I could so see that. Why are you wasting my time with this podcast where you're just like self-flagellating? It's been 3 years. Didn't affect me. Why are you saying sorry to me? Go say sorry to your wife.
And I hope to make amends.
This is just painful, isn't it? This is just painful. Do you know what? If I... big words coming... big words about to come out. If I ever screw up, like in a really bad public way, and then I come back 3 years later, vocal frying and being contrite and being like faux, I'm so sorry I broke your trust. I want all of you to just roast me. This comment section is roasting him, but I want you to all just roast me. Is it insincere? Does it? Maybe he does believe it. I don't know. I'm not going to claim that I know his mind or anything, but this is a hard watch for me. Like, bro, it's been 3 years. We've got so much bigger... like, in the past 3 years, what has happened? Don't make it political. Don't... You have to make it a little bit political. Like, in the past 3 years, what? 2 years ago, Israel started unleashing hell on Gaza. Russia and Ukraine haven't got any better. Trump got back in. Something happened in this country. Was it within the last 3 years we had like 10 prime ministers in space of like 5 minutes? Like, shit has been going on, my dude. And he's come... Do you know what I mean? It's just a bit self-important. Like, but beyond the really into it fans, we've all... cost of living crisis. Like, everything's so expensive and everything's bad, right? We've got shit going on, man. Like, I'm not thinking about you and your situation. Do you know what? Am I being unfair? Tell me if I'm being unfair. It just seems a little bit self-absorbed. Like, we've all moved on with our lives. Like life keeps going.
This is a conversation with Ariel in this video. It's painful at times. It's honest, vulnerable, brutal. But it's necessary for her to move forward, and I'm grateful.
Did he wrangle her into this? Is this necessary? She should just divorce him if she's not going to yet. Like, just divorce him, babes. Don't. What is this?
Grateful for the chance to.
Like, why is this public consumption? Why is this? I mean, there's all sorts of content online, but really think about this. Why is this now content? Watching a man who cheated on his partner 3 years ago in a very public way, I don't know, self-flagellating and being all woe is me to his partner that he cheated on, because I know that's going to come up. I've already read the comments, right? Like, why is this content? Anything can be content, but should everything be content?
Witness it. As as disappointed as we were that something so private and painful became such a public spectacle, I get why people were so outraged, and I understand.
As disappointed as we were that something that was so private became a public spectacle. But, right, fuck off. Go fuck yourself. You went to a concert with the person, you were in the Try Guys, which were massive, and you went to these concerts and you were barely hiding it, that you were having an affair. Oh, but it went public. You should have thought about that. You fucked around and found out. Oh my God, like this guy, even now, he's not getting it. Oh, it's such a public thing. So what am I going to do? Air out all my dirty laundry publicly yet again to make a bunch of money on this video that has 500,000 views. It's 1 hour long. Bet the CPM on that is pretty good, even though he's a new channel. So this guy, oh my God, like, I hate people, man.
That is the reason that she can't move forward with any sort of public thing without addressing this. So this is that. This is a conversation where we answer your questions. We share what we've been up to these last 3 years and what you can expect from us moving forward. It's about an hour long. And I know that from my perspective, I want to tell stories of curiosity and empathy. And I want...
Empathy on the internet, behave. Is this your first week online?
Them to be meaningful and have value in people's lives. So I hope that you find this impactful. So please join me for this conversation with Ariel Fulmer. Well, here we are.
Back again.
At it again. Is it strange to think that people are watching this and listening to it rather than...
He's creeping me out.
Just being in like a therapy setting?
Oh, heck yeah. It's terrifying.
Yeah.
Ariel, blink twice if you need help. If you need me to bust in there and break you out of there, by God, I'll be on that first plane ticket.
It's absolutely, yeah. I mean, I'm on the verge of like standing up and walking out of this room. Absolutely.
Same.
Same. You shut up. Ariel, go. Just go. Be free. Spread your wings and fly.
I'm like, what the hell am I doing? What am I doing? But no, I feel like this is a necessary thing.
How can I move forward in my life without people knowing the next part of my story if they're still stuck on the 2022 part of my story?
That's kind of the thing, isn't it? And that's the whole reason that we're here, because we're stuck in 2022.
Yeah, at least as far as they know.
Exactly.
If this is something that she needs to do to move on, fine, absolutely, why not? But as for him, who cares, bro? Fucked around, found out, made your bed, lie in it, etc., etc.
We have moved on with our lives.
Yeah, we've moved on for a while.
We have moved on with our lives, but that brings us to the whole reason that we're here, and the reason that we can't walk out of this room, because we live in a social world, right? And we can't move on with our lives if we don't, move on publicly.
Mm-hmm.
So far, all of this could have been summed up in just one Instagram story that then would have been, screenshotted and spoken about in the Daily Mail, the Sun, and the Metro. So don't need a whole podcast for it.
Publicly reestablish the context of who we are, how we relate to each other after being so public with our relationship before.
Yeah. I mean,
it's a really strange thing, actually, like that we can't do anything publicly without kind of addressing this first.
Well, yeah. I mean,
it's not that much of a strange concept when you were the wife guy in Try Guys, you spoon, you lampshade, you bellend. He can at this point, he could be like, water is wet. And I'd be like, fuck you. Like, I don't understand how someone can live online, be very famous online for a very certain type of thing, and then be like, oh no, why are people and then behave in a way that contradicts the thing that they're kind of famous for, and then be like, oh no, I don't understand why people think this way about me. But then I don't know if he's even been, because I've not been keeping up with him, I don't know if he's been active on Instagram or whatever. And like I say, this so far doesn't need a podcast. It could have just been, yeah, me and Ariel splitting up, and I don't know, I've gone to Whole Foods today. Like, do you know what I mean? He's acting hard done by. Oh no, consequences of my own actions.
In 2022, it got so big, right? The whole scandal, it grew and grew and grew and grew, to the point where it just became this thing that just like got so much bigger than us.
Yeah.
And I feel like
I feel like she's sincere. Every time the camera cuts away to his face, I feel like it's super insincere. I don't know why. I'm hypercritical. I don't know why.
Yeah, because it's a big step to like sit down and do what we're doing and to talk about it.
Right. But even like going out in public with like my kids or just going out to dinner or something like that.
Yeah.
I feel like the only thing that people see is the scandal.
Yeah.
And who did that to you? The guy sitting next to you has caused your life to be like this.
It's a big loss.
It's a big loss, but it's a really strange way.
If it was me, I'd never forgive him. I'd never forgive him. Like, an affair is one thing, but then it to be so public, and then it to haunt your life, and for you to know that millions of people see you as this wife, this woman that was cheated on, and like people would obviously pity you, but then you would be in a position where you don't necessarily want people's pity, because it would feel a bit like, but you don't actually know me and my life, and it would feel a bit patronizing, right? I'm projecting. That's how I would feel. I'd feel. I think for the first week it'd be quite nice, and then a year on, I'd feel like, I'm not just someone that got cheated on by some douchebag Mark Zuckerberg looking ass, right? But that's a chain reaction that started with this bloke, the one sitting next to her. I would never forgive him if it was me, but I'm petty.
We are still friends. We have children together. We go on trips together.
Right.
Like, there's a spectrum of being together, not together.
Right.
Like there's ways in which we're together, but it's like the way that everyone wants to know, like, are you guys still like an item? Are you guys still a couple? Like, no. We really haven't been at all.
Wonder why? Like, why is he saying that as though it's like groundbreaking? Oh, my wife doesn't want to be with me because I cheated on her. Like, and why can't he just? You notice the way he's talking. He can't just be straightforward. She's going at the scandal because obviously she wants distance from it, but like he wants distance from it because he was the wrongdoer in the situation, right? So like, but the way that it's coming across, maybe it's unintentional. Maybe I won't have like total bad faith, but it comes a bit across as though like he's just really trying to minimize that he cheated very publicly on his wife with a subordinate, someone who worked for him, who was also engaged. And even then, he couldn't just say, yeah, me and Ariel aren't together anymore. He had to dress it up. Maybe it's just the way he talks. Right? It's just, I'm too British for this.
People ask me, like, do you forgive Ned for what he did? And I mean, the answer is no.
Good for you.
Absolutely not. How
love to hear it, love to see it.
Can you forgive somebody for lying to you, for cheating on you? No. Fuck no. Like,
you can't see, but I'm smiling right now.
I don't even, I sorry, I saw red for a minute. It's like, no, the answer is no.
Good for her. You could do better. Hope you do end up doing better.
The fact that I can be around you and still like have a good time and like enjoy spending time with you and enjoy spending time with my kids. Like, I think that's a win.
Saying this as someone who doesn't have children, no interest in it, but did have divorced parents, but not from cheating or anything. They just fell out of love with each other, I suppose. That should be the goal, innit? To get to a point where you can peacefully co-parent with your spouse if you break up. Unless the situation is super, super extreme, but in this case, that should be the goal and the win. That you can do that, and then the kids aren't in a hostile environment where people are just angry at each other. That's the goal. So good for her. Good for her. She can do better than him.
Like, yeah, of course I'm still angry. I found out about your affair from the fans. What was I like? How did I not see what was going on? Like, what was so fucked up in my brain that I couldn't actually see what was happening in this picture? Like, the picture was right there in front of me.
This could be the part, Ned, where you step in and go, there's nothing fucked up with your brain. You just didn't want to think that your husband was cheating on you. There's nothing wrong with her. There's nothing wrong with her. There's nothing wrong with this gremlin next to her, just like, Ugh. Weak man. Low value. That's it. I'm becoming an alpha male podcast. I'm joking.
I can see how that caused you to really feel unsafe and mistrusting of the whole world.
Why is he talking like that? Why is he detaching himself from his actions?
Want to acknowledge that and just note that it's like because of things I did.
There you go.
How do you remember it happening?
Oh, I mean, you asked me a couple of different follow-up questions as I just sort of answered them. And then, once I answered it in such a way that you knew exactly who it was and what had happened, then you were like, take me back to the airport.
Great detail, mate. I can see you're going to do so well as a podcaster.
Yeah.
That part was very cinematic.
Like, his storytelling is just unparalleled.
Totally could see how devastated and just completely traumatized you were. And then it was just like, oh, everything changed for me as well. I'm like, oh no, this is like I've been hurting this person that I love this whole time.
No shit. Also, Ned, you're so boring.
You didn't realize until then.
Well, but
Ha ha ha, exactly.
But then there's other things you tell yourself to kind of sort of...
Like what? Like, say some of them. Explain it better.
Compartmentalize, or I guess.
Interesting.
Well, this is nice, guys. I'm glad we all sat down and did this.
Like a addictive cycle, kind of feeling really guilty and ashamed, and then telling yourself the ways in which it's, kind of just lying to yourself, and then
I'm glad we waited 3 years to hear this justification for his affair.
And I did want to tell you, and there was probably a small part of me that was sort of relieved to not be keeping a secret, I guess.
Ah, I'm glad a small part of you was relieved that you couldn't do the thing and tell your wife that you were cheating on her, the wife of your kids. I'm glad a small part of you felt relieved that you embarrassed your wife in front of millions of people. And she still has to live with that. This guy's a bell end.
It's almost like they feel so much relief, but the partner then has to accept it. And that's exactly what happened.
I think she's got a lot of emotional intelligence. I do not think he does. Oh, I was relieved that I could finally tell you. Oof, load off my back that I could tell you that I've been cheating on you for God knows how long. It's very self-absorbed of him.
You know, when you told me, suddenly then I had to take all of that guilt and shame of your affair. And it was so much to carry. So much. Like,
even when a bloke's been cheating, the woman still has to do like all of the emotional labor. How unfair is that?
when men have affairs, women are often looked at as like, well, what did you do wrong? And it is so hard to get out from under that of like, well, what did you do to make him look elsewhere? You know, were you not a good enough wife? Were you not, did you not make him happy enough? You know?
Which is crazy because it doesn't even really work in this situation, right? That I know what she's talking about, but like that line of logic, if people were like saying that to her, doesn't even work in this context because he was the fucking wife guy of the Try Guys, being like, my wife, I'm so good at marriage, like da 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 da, our relationship's so great. Like he was so public about it, so that just doesn't even work. So if anyone did try that line of like logical thinking with her, well, anyone that does do that can go fuck themselves anyway. But they can like doubly, because she could literally just point to the Try Guys channel and be like, look at this, we did a cookbook together as well, we did this, we did that, tell me where I went wrong. And it wasn't just this scoundrel.
And there's so much shame there. And I'm so tired of holding that. I'm so tired of holding it.
I hope she reads the comments in this video. We'll go through them afterwards. We'll go through some of them anyway, because I think the comment section might bolster her spirits a little bit.
Not only did you having an affair just it shattered our marriage, but it also, like, all of that guilt and shame, you like hoisted that on me. Like you gave that to me. And now I have to carry that around for the rest of my life.
Yeah, she's absolutely never forgiving him.
I don't
As she shouldn't.
think it's fair that as a society you're put in that position. It's
Oh, what a I don't think it's fair as a society. It was your actions. What a fucking deflection. This dude. Never forgive him, babe. Never forgive him. Like, the first thing that came out of his mouth then should have been, I wasn't thinking about that. I'm so sorry. I did that to you. But instead he's deflected to, we live in a society, which we do, but that should come second. And his self-flagellating should come first.
certainly not true.
Damn. Just the way she's looking at him like
And no, it's not something that I imagined as I was doing that. I think none of it was. If you really like let it sink in just how much you're hurting your partner and how
would you not know that like cheating on your wife, the mother of your children, is gonna hurt her? He was just thinking with his dick.
devastating it is. Like,
oh, I didn't know how devastating. Like, as if we don't have books and films and think pieces and anecdotal experiences via other people, and as if we don't know that, hey, fucking someone else when you're married and, you know, you're not polyamorous, it's gonna hurt. What are you talking? What an idiot. What an absolute idiot. You don't get to be like, oh, I didn't realize how bad it would be. Like, what are you talking about?
How could you do that? It's still very difficult now, even 3 years later, to see you in pain as you're talking about that. Because there's nothing I can do to...
It's very difficult for me to see you in pain. This guy's a schmuck.
You know, I trusted you so completely. And I mean, we grew up together. We got married when we were like in our early 20s.
Yeah.
We were babies. I'm like tearing up just thinking about it. We were just kids. And it's like, it really was a fantasy.
You can see how painful this is for her still. So I hope by doing this video with him, this podcast, she's gotten what she needs out of it. I don't hope he gets whatever his self-obsessed thing he's trying to get out of it, to be honest. I hope the next few episodes, I hope the views bomb on the next few episodes for his podcast, quite frankly. But I hope that she gets whatever catharsis she needed from doing this, to be honest.
And I just think, how could you do that to me? Like, who are you?
You're going to speak it all, Ned? You're just going to sit there staring at her unblinkingly with your shiny forehead? Like, bruh.
I'm so sorry.
Okay, well, I guess that's something 3 years on. No, I'm joking. He's obviously like said sorry to her in private. Not that it counts for much, but you know.
Like, we had so much. There was so much. We had so much life left. We still have so much life left. I don't know why I'm crying.
I think it's like the loss of that dream that we both had.
Man, I can't wait for her to... Because here's the thing. She's obviously going to be... It's going to be very difficult for her in future relationships to trust someone. Absolutely. But once she gets to that place and she finds herself like a good, high-value man, like a, I don't know, not some sort of sneaky, villainous Mark Zuckerberg wannabe. Once she finds like a good himbo golden retriever, not whatever this guy is, that's going to be like psychic damage for Ned when she finally moves on and gets herself like a good decent bloke, you know. But I hope she gets that. But then if she doesn't want that and has learned how to stand by herself and for herself, then that's absolutely cool and fine too. This podcast is strange.
It felt like that in that time period for me too.
What happened?
Well, the dream started to break apart for me, and
spitting on my microphone. The dream started to fall apart for me, so I stuck my dick into someone else. Like, what are you talking about, man? Like, life isn't a dream. It's not a fairy tale. It's hard work. It's never going to be easy. And if it was like, oh, it was a dream and then, I don't know, we had kids and it started to like fall apart. Like, I mean, once you've already had kids, you're already in it. You're married, your kids, like you got kids, you're already in it. Like, then is not the time for you to get bored and wander somewhere else. In a sense, though, I mean, if he can do this when things are still like good, relatively speaking, then what was he going to do if things turned really bad or there was a really serious, I don't know, like trauma or death in the family or something like that, you know? Like if someone can walk away when the dream is fading, but that like the dream elements are still there, what would they do? I think the silver linings, if you can even call them that in these situations, are obviously you're 2 kids deep, which is crazy, but you've found out now and you've not found out like 30 years in. But then they already had like this, you know, little media empire together and stuff. It's difficult. It's difficult.
Then rather than being able to talk about it or to confront those feelings, I wanted to, I guess I was too afraid to say how I was actually feeling. And
afraid to say or horny for someone else? Because I feel like the language used is important, because afraid to say puts him in almost like this sympathetic role of like, oh, I was too scared to talk about my really real feelings, so I had to put my willy in someone else. I just had to. When really, like, in this situation, when you've been with someone for a long time, you're married, you've got kids, like, he was most likely, or most definitely, getting off on the attention that someone else was giving him. And the fact that like the other person was also engaged, but then she's choosing to like, you know, flirt or like have sex with this married man as well, that's another like ego boost. He was getting off on the ego boost of it. He probably was obviously scared to tell his wife, who he was so publicly with, what he was doing. Sure, granted, but I think it's a lot more ego driven than people want to admit, because that doesn't put them in a sympathetic role. If he turned around and he was like, she was new, fresh, like I was having fun with her, I was really into the sex or whatever it is, he's immediately too villainous for anyone. I mean, not that I'm sympathizing with him at all or have empathy at all for him, but he can't kind of put himself publicly in that kind of category. It has to be, I was too scared, I just kind of had to like slip and fall into someone else's vagina.
it seemed
I should be a couples counselor, relationship therapist. I really should. I feel like that's my calling in life.
actions that I took that I'll always regret. I'll always regret how much pain I caused you and other people. You know? And I'm deeply, deeply sorry.
Well, that's something, isn't it? Though, Ned, you're being a bit boring. Can you not like liven this up? I'm joking. I'm so toxic. I'm a horrible person.
And I'll spend my whole rest of my life trying to make amends to you. And to, you know, show up differently, to lead a life of integrity, and to be a father that our children can learn from.
I wonder if he still wants to get back together with her. Probably, because men like that are like that, right? Like, he probably wants to get back to her. I hope that she finds her himbo dream man instead.
Yeah, it was all my fault. It was all choices that I made.
Do you know what? He's boring me, so I'm just going to talk about myself and my own thoughts for a little bit whilst kicking my table. I do think, and I don't know if it's like a self-preservation measure, I think you shouldn't, or maybe you cannot trust another human being 100%. I think 95 is good. Always retain that 5% of, and it's not to treat them with suspicion, it's not to be paranoid, it's to go off their actions and their words, and if that matches up to the guy, sure, right? But I think, like, I trust my boyfriend, and it's not a but, and it's not an and yet. Not me trying to start a sentence with a but or and yet, without but or and yet. I feel like there's a part of me in any dynamic where I'm like, this person, however statistically improbable or unlikely based on who they are and their past actions, there is still a chance they could surprise me with something. And it's not even about preparing yourself for that, but just, or even entertaining it. I don't know. We're in a universe that, well, apparently there is an end to our universe, but our universe is so big it might as well be infinite. So apparently there is an edge of the universe. What the fuck is on the other side of that edge? mirror universe, like in Futurama. What I'm trying to say is we're in a universe of almost infinite chaos where almost anything can happen. Therefore, because some children trust their parents because that is their primary caregiver, and yet some parents can turn around and do awful things to their kids, or not even like that awful, maybe just like betray their trust in a certain way, or we don't have to talk catastrophically. Humans, though we have this ability to rationalize and use logic, I would deign to say most of us don't, and we act upon emotions, and we are incredibly illogical creatures, no matter how much some of us can or can't rationalize our actions. Some people simply don't have self-reflection in them as well. Like that's an element at play too. Or they have cognitive dissonance towards their own actions, like people who go, I love animals, and then sit down and eat a big, steak or whatever. And they go, oh no, this is different though. And it's like, how? Anyway, moving on. Moving on. I wouldn't ever trust anyone to a 100% capacity. The most maybe I'd go is 95, 98%. That's very specific. I know. I don't know if it's like a self-preservation or a mental safeguard, or to me, that's just being pragmatic. It's understanding that many humans are just trying their best to live through life, but we are emotional creatures, which isn't a bad thing. We've evolved to have EQ and emotional intelligence. If it wasn't important to us as social creatures, we probably wouldn't have evolved to have that. I'm not a social scientist. I'm not any sort of... I'm barely a philosopher scraping by. Do you know what I mean? I just believe my viewpoint is pragmatic. Obviously, if someone betrayed me and betrayed my trust, would I be hurt? Yes. But maybe it's because I'm imaginative and always imagining different things. I think I could go on without being completely... Obviously, there'll be an element of being blindsided, but I think I could go on without being completely shattered, completely blindsided. I don't even trust myself 100%. Do you know what I mean? I'm not going to trust someone else 100%. I don't trust my own behavior sometimes. Like, I look at my 20s and I'm like, was that a good idea? Why were you doing that? Why were you hanging out with those people? Why were you letting older men feed you cocaine? Like, what's going on there, dude? But I also think it's very important to know who you are, away from relationships, away from external validation, away from... Because one day, not to be morbid, but I am incessantly morbid, one day all those things are going to go. You could be the last one standing out of your friend group, out of your marriage. No one likes to think about these things, but you need to know who you are away from... It doesn't even need to be that catastrophic. Like, what if everyone fell out of you over something stupid? You need to know who you are and be able to, like, stand up by yourself. And then you're in a mentally healthy place to be in a relationship, I think. Knowing that, okay, like, if someone cheated on me, obviously my ego, man, I'd be furious. I would understand that it says more about them than me. I'd be furious and I'd be hurt. But I know ultimately I'd be able to get up and keep walking the next day. But I am also extra jaded because obviously, like, a close family member of mine died last year. So to me, like, I judge, like, there's like a fork in the road in my life, like me pre that happening and then me post that happening. And now I judge kind of like everything that happens in my life as, well, no one's died. Yeah, it's bad, but no one's died slowly and horribly in front of me. So, so there is a part of me. If my boyfriend listens to this, I'm cooked. There is a part of me that's like, if my boyfriend ever cheated on me, like nothing to me is going to be as bad as watching one of the people I love the most in the world die. So, and that's not being like me being like, go ahead, cheat on me, see what I do. Do you know what I mean? You know what I mean? I don't know, perspective, I suppose. But that's not invalidating how horrible it would be to have someone that you trust and you've trusted enough to have kids with and be married to, and they've taken on vows. And if you're religious, like, that's vows to God. Like, when religious people cheat, and it's like you literally said vows to your sky daddy. And I love every time that I say daddy, it's like, daddy, I can't say it like daddy. Your sky father, your sky daddy. Like, you took an oath to your sky daddy that you would act in a proper way with virtue to the love in this life, your love in this life. And like, you've betrayed God, immortal, omnipresent, omnipotent, all-knowing, eternal, timeless God. You've lied to the big man upstairs. How dumb are you fucking idiots? Sorry, let's continue. I'm just like, great. Anyway, those are my ratchet thoughts. I just had a coffee. That's why I'm in this mood.
So where do we go from here?
Divorce babes.
I mean, that's kind of how we've been, what we've been working on, I guess, over the last 3 years. We can make new promises to each other as friends, as co-parents. What was the thing that kind of started changing things for you?
Maybe just time. Time and, I don't know, courage.
100%. It's always time. With something that's traumatic or gives you a lot of grief, it's always time. Obviously, I've not been in a marriage and been cheated on, so I cannot talk in that capacity. But I know with trauma, like last year, I was not okay. Like I was not myself. I'm still a harsher version of myself, and I'm never going to, but I've always been harsh and jaded. I'm never going to go back to the version of myself that didn't carry this weight with me. But last year, the shock, and then like I had PTSD and stuff from going through that I didn't refuse to get help with, because I was literally like, Ron Swanson, like, I know more than you. That's the thing. I'm in therapy now. I'm not like, obviously I don't know more than the therapist, but I know more about myself than the therapist does, because guess what? I'm always thinking about myself, and I'm very retrospective, and I'm like so smart. I can't hide from anything. I know the reasons of why I do things, and I also understand like how it's going to be perceived by other people, because I'm constantly thinking about myself, because I'm such a narcissist. So there's still an element of me that's like, what the hell's a therapist going to tell me that I don't already know? Oh my god, I'm a bit of a narc. Yeah, no shit. And yeah, I go to therapy and use it as like my bitching gossip sessions, to be quite frank with you. Like, I was not okay last year, and I wasn't sure if I was going to be okay. And now this year, I know we're almost at the end of like this year, so for me it's been like a year and a half. I am so much more myself again, but just a little bit. I was already rough around the edges, I guess rougher. And now I'm in a place where I'm like, no, I want to do content, and I want to do this, and I want to do that. And there's still like that hardship of like, I didn't want to do stuff last year because it felt pointless. To have your number one fan go, it felt suddenly, because I should be financially motivated, because otherwise how the fuck am I going to pay my rent? I'm not that financially motivated to do things, like creative wise, I mean. There's still an element of like, it's a shame. I cannot ring this person and tell them what I'm up to, and they would watch it, because it's not like the rest of my family gives a shit about what I do. Oh dear. Why am I trauma dumping? This is their therapy session, their little trauma dumping podcast, and I've just joined it. I'm like, guys, what about me and my trauma? Ned's being boring. Can I talk about myself for a bit? I am literally the fucking worst, and don't worry, that'll come up in next week's therapy session. Should we get back to them? I'm so sorry, Ariel. I'm so sorry. Not being disrespectful to you. Being disrespectful to Ned and his stupid little podcast, sure, but not you, babe.
Yeah, it was a real moment of kind of discovering who your real, true, authentic friends are, and
yeah,
kind of then cherishing that, and you know, those people that you can kind of be completely yourself with.
Yeah.
Do you reckon he harbours a grudge against the Try Guys for dumping him and whatnot?
Yeah, absolutely.
They're not just seeing a one-dimensional version of you.
Yeah, totally.
When did things start to feel a little more safe for you?
I think as I just got more comfortable talking to people about like what happened, and they just seemed to not care.
Yeah.
You know, like it just wasn't a big deal.
He laughs like he's in pain. Do you guys see that? Like, if you saw that man making that face with no context, would you think he's laughing, or would you think he's about to shit himself or cry while shitting? We've all been sorry.
Like, it just wasn't a big deal.
It is kind of funny. It's like the whole, internet and people making TikToks seem to care so much. And then you meet anyone in real life, and it's like everyone has some way to relate to some sort of a cheating story.
Just like all the parents at Wes's school, or, they're like, either they don't know or they don't give a flying fuck. They're like,
Yeah, because they got their own lives. They got kids in it. They got their own lives to deal with.
it's one of many scandals. Like, also, it was 3 years ago. Like, get over yourself.
Yeah.
You know, like that's kind of how I feel. They're like, they're sort
like,
of like,
right, because when you're in that
Who
school
cares?
environment, like
Shit or get off the pot, basically. Divorce or don't.
it just gives you so much perspective.
Yeah.
It gives you so much perspective to just be in a group of people where nobody cares.
yeah,
You know, and it gives you, honestly, I think that is what gives me the courage to just be like, you know what? It's okay.
right.
I'm gonna be okay. I can go on dates and not have people be whispering about me.
Yes, good for you. Go on dates. Find that himbo, babe.
Where maybe we are at a restaurant with our kids and I don't have to feel shame because I'm like, you know, having fun.
Right.
You know, where people are like, oh my God, are they back together?
Right.
Just
right.
because I'm like having a joyful time with my kids and my ex-husband. You know,
Ex-husband. Yes, ex-husband. No, but that must be highly irritating. Like, oh my God, she was smiling here. Are they back together? Like, 'cause even when you're going through something that's traumatic or like grief, not grief inspiring. What fucking LA talk is that? It was grief inspiring, guys. Even when you're going through something traumatic, it's not like you never laugh again. Sorry, it's because I've had a coffee. And also, this is my channel. So if you don't like me talking about myself and relating everything back to me, then I don't know what to tell you, dudes. Like, why are you here? Why am I here? Why are we here? I've become an absurdist. I'm not a nihilist. I'm the universe is crazy. Do what you want. But, you know, for me, like, when I was going through that stuff last year, literally an hour after my relative died, I was in this car park with my sister. And obviously we were in shock and we were talking and we were making jokes and laughing, you know, and if there'd been, God, big of me to say, if there'd been paparazzi, but say like I was a celebrity or whatever, if there'd been paparazzi, they'd have been like, what the fuck? They're not, you know, because there's the shock, but then also like, it's not like you don't ever find things funny again. Even when like the shock was really building in, like the days directly after it all happened, I kind of got through it by just sitting on my ass and watching endless reruns of like The Office and Parks and Rec and stuff. And I was laughing at Michael Scott. You know, it gave me like a slight. So of course, like it's like I said, humans were emotional and we feel a whole spectrum of emotions on like a daily basis. It's weirdly dehumanizing to follow someone around with a camera and be like, oh look, she's laughing with her kids and Ned is there, so maybe they're back together, or maybe like she's over it, whatever. It's like, no, the kids like might have like said something silly or inappropriate or whatever and she was just laughing. It's not like someone's going to be weeping 24/7. That happens too, don't get me wrong, but actually I barely cry at stuff after it happened. Barely cried. Well hard. Phil Mitchell of YouTube. I only cry at really random things. Like why am I talking so much? Like literally who cares this much about me? I don't even care this much about me. But I remember like in the weeks afterwards, like kind of not being in the mood to cry, and also like not thinking about crying. And also I'd cried like so much before, like as it was happening, I was all cried out anyway. I just like wouldn't cry, didn't cry at the funeral, that kind of thing. Don't really, not keen on public displays of grief and tears and stuff. I don't really like it when people like cry and then upload like videos of themselves crying onto, that's my toxic masculinity coming through. Thanks, Dad. Well, I was watching Free Body Problem of all things, and then this Lana Del Rey song Video Games came on, and I cried at that. Like, don't know why, not gonna analyze that too hard, but you know, so if I went through something like this, I don't think I'd be crying publicly either, or giving the people, I don't know, some sort of, because there's almost like validation in like seeing someone publicly upset, and yet that's not going to be the reality of someone's like 16-hour per day lived experience, isn't it? I don't know if I'm just waffling and just saying stuff because I've had my coffee and I've got no one to talk to right now. Like, I don't know what's going on, man.
Is that a crime?
Yeah.
To feel joy?
There you go. That's what I was trying to say.
Like,
Can I live?
can I live?
Let them.
Let them.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we're going to Greece together next week.
Right.
It's like, life is weird sometimes.
Yes. Like, we.
I imagine there are going to be some people who are maybe a bit younger or whatever, or maybe just like don't understand how they can even like be sitting there and laughing. But I get, like, not going for a cheating thing myself. I'm not saying that, but like, I get it. Because ultimately life does move on, and like she has this dynamic that she has to navigate, and he's clearly her ex-husband. She's just said that, and they are separated and whatever. But the reality is they have kids. He built this weird media empire on being like the wife guy. They have a life that is so tangled together. Of course, there are going to be moments like we're not going to say. I mean, she said earlier, she was like, I just saw red then. I was so angry. There are going to be moments where she is like furious with him still, and there are going to be moments where they're laughing together. It doesn't absolve him of what he did to her. It's clearly her way of like moving forward, because she has to have this guy. You can't have a clean breakup with someone that you've got kids with. You could if you're married to them. You don't necessarily have to see them again if you don't want to, but she has to see this is the father of her children. So like, I get it. I think it's transparent the reason why he's got a podcast, and I don't think we need more blokes with podcasts, to be quite honest. But I'm also not going to sit here and be like, how can they be laughing together? Because I just think that's stupid and dehumanizing.
We travel together. It's we have a familial relationship.
Yeah, it's we've like redefined our relationship, not as partners that are romantic partners.
Yeah.
Those sort of like, family or platonic partners and pals, if you want to say pals. I feel the same way, that it was kind of the social communities in school or wherever you are that you kind of just start to feel less alone.
Yeah.
Where, somebody that's your friend, or like another couple that you're friends with, just will say like, hey, like, it was shitty what you did, and also everyone goes through hard times and you move forward the best you can.
That's real, though your hard time was entirely self-inflicted, but it is real.
And at the same time, people looking on the outside can kind of feel that nonchalance, and on the inside it's like, what I did to you is one of the most devastating things I think that a person can experience. Like, I understand why, broadly speaking, these like scandals are such ignition points, because it's a lot of people can relate to it, and a lot of people feel so much pain around it.
I have some days when I hate your guts.
And that what I just said, me, the genius, the expert on human beings. I'm such a twit.
And there are other days when I enjoy your company more than not.
High praise indeed.
Our kids are awesome.
Yeah, they are.
Everyone thinks that.
And I mean, they're worth every cent we've spent on therapy. Like,
yeah, because I mean, that's like a big reason why we're working so hard to rebuild.
That's the only reason. If kids weren't in the picture, your ass would be blocked. Ariel would never speak to you again and be off living her life. Like, the kids are the only reason that you two are still, let's be real, let's be absolutely real here.
Mm-hmm. I don't even know if I would call it rebuilding. I think we're building something new.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I think you have to.
See, I wonder, rebuilding. And she's like building something new. I wonder if he still, low-key, wants to get back and be with her. Because again, men really be like that sometimes. But she's like, no, we're building something new. A new, because she said platonic, dynamic, not a romantic relationship.
Feel it like that.
I feel like she's got the door shut on that, as she should. Good for her. But he maybe still has like some kind of hope.
Oh, burn that shit to the ground. I'm kidding.
My wife.
What was that noise? Did he say my wife? My wife? Like, what was that?
It's ironic because at the same time, I think what the internet wants from you is to be a one-dimensional character.
How so?
Well, if you... I think there's if you make TikToks as like a certain persona or doing a certain joke, if you deviate from that joke, oftentimes your like engagement will plummet. Like people kind of want to like just see, it's like, oh, it's like you're a stereotype, you're kind of like that person, and I guess I noticed that in my own work. It's like the things that consistently drew people in were adorable family posts or talking about my wife, and then producers lean into that and like craft situations for me, and I don't know, over time
It's so American, isn't it? Having to become like this one note personality, whether that's like being a villain, being the wife guy, being the whatever, like unable to show, which I do understand. Like as a YouTuber, I understand that there are certain types of videos that are going to like do decent for views and others that aren't. And then you're not even, I don't have producers, but you are encouraged to lean way more into the stuff that's going to do well, because makes your bank account balance look healthier, makes your analytics look healthier. But then you run the risk of, you don't run the risk, you end up being pigeonholed by content that you don't necessarily really want to do anymore or care about, and then the other stuff doesn't do well. But then if you don't even try to do the other stuff, you're always going to be stuck. So I get what he means. I think it's especially bad with TikTokers, like there'll be TikTokers where they'll do a skit, and then that skit blows up, and then that's all they do from there on out, and then people get bored of the joke, and then they can't move on and do other stuff.
felt super pigeonholed, and just like I had to fulfill this one like quadrant in a foursome to just be this like, kind of caricature.
I know what he means. Oh, not me agreeing with Ned Fulmer's capacity, but I do understand what he means. Like, that would irritate the shit out of me. I'm unable. This is why my views are all fucking all over the place all the time, because I'm unable to stick to like one thing and just do one thing, because it bores me, because I've got ADHD. So I get it. I get why he felt that he had to lean into the wife guy bits, and then obviously, because people love family content online. I don't know why. I don't get it. I'm not very family orientated myself, so I don't really get it. And then I could see why how turns out he was having an affair. It's like a double massive betrayal, because it's contradictory and it's really hypocritical. I get it. I don't need to explain further than that. I get it.
You're like put in a box.
I think it's.
I think also, so it's one thing for like a YouTuber who's by themselves, maybe has a fraction of the success of the Try Guys, to complain about maybe like pigeonholing themselves or whatever, because they're still like in a place where maybe they can do other things differently. But yeah, if you're in this group where there's like, I don't know, dozens of members of staff relying on you guys putting videos together, and like there's millions of dollars of different revenue avenues being generated, I assume by the year, for someone like the Try Guys who got like 20 million followers. I understand how you would end up being pigeonholed, but that doesn't mean that then you have to go and like throw all that away by having an affair. Do you know what I mean? But I understand that element of it, on that side of it. I keep thinking of Sean Solo, the dude who does the Hongdae guy stuff on TikTok, I keep thinking about him because he was doing various things and then he did the Hong guy thing and that blew up and now that's him all the time. And I wonder if like he's gonna get because it would be so exciting for the first year and then sooner or later it's gotta get a little, unless you're like doing a proper character study and it becomes less superficial, it just becomes this character that you embody. However, it must get a bit, I don't know, the charm must wear off after a while. No, don't shadow box, don't start fights. My brain is always starting fights. Like I like the Hong guy thing, of course I do. I like that content. I have seen some clips of him in interviews though, and they're just clips, so maybe I need to watch the full interviews. But the clips that I've seen, because clips are meant to be highlights, right? I don't think he seems like the warmest of people IRL. So that's going to work against you if people suddenly think... So I saw him talking about like beauty standards in Korea and basically being like, if you don't like the beauty standards in South Korea, then just leave. And it's like... But the beauty standards in South Korea are affecting South Koreans. It's not just like foreigners who go there. It's like it's affecting South Koreans, dude. Like, huh? Far be it from me to like try and mansplain someone else's lived reality or culture, for God's sake. Yeah, I just see some clips of him. It doesn't seem like he's the warmest person. So then if people get like wind of that, it's just harder. It's just harder to like be online. Saying that as someone who has just tried to be non-stop combative for the past like 5 fucking years. Really big of me to be like, not coming across as that personable or that likable.
It's very hard to like be a full person with nuance on the internet. There's always sort of a performance.
Look at me. Look at me. I'm more unfiltered when I do this. I'm a bit more filtered in real life. Do you know why? Because I get sick of my own fucking opinions. I get sick of hearing my opinions in my head. I'm way more unfiltered. If you stick a microphone in me, I got no one. Look at my channel and how badly it's doing right now. That's it. If you want to have nuance, you can. If you want to be a full-rounded personality on the internet, you can. I've just decided I'm going to do like a high-tech fitness video. Like of this fitness gym that I know of that is like crazy. It's got like £1,000 a month membership, and I've just decided I'm going to reach out to them. I'm going to do like a Will Tennyson type of... I'm going to do it. And guess what? That video is probably going to fucking bomb because my channel's all over the place. So it's like, if you want to be this well-rounded, multifaceted personality online, you can. But the sheer pitfall of that is a lot of your content is going to fucking bomb and people aren't going to care and your bank balance is going to be all over the place, my guy. So it's like, pick your poison. Oh, I need a hug.
There.
So what are you going to do now that you're back on the internet?
It's a great question. I, for a long time, didn't want to return to the internet because I didn't.
Go away then. Not me doing a Sean solo. Just leave.
See a way of... I didn't want to be myself. I didn't want to make anything. I didn't feel creative. And as time has moved on, I have a desire to create and to tell stories, but I don't really want it to be about myself as a character or myself or my relationship or my personal life. You know, I've always been drawn to things that make people...
I literally didn't hear a word of that because I just went on TikTok to look up Sean Solo to make sure that like I was getting his name right, like the solo part of it, and the first thing that's literally come up is just this video of Gong Yu in a suit walking around. Like, so I'm not hearing a word that's coming out of this guy's mouth right now. I'm here just like, wow, why is this video like 3 hours long? Sickening. Absolutely sickening. Let me just make sure. Yeah, it's Sean Solo. That is the username of this guy that like I like, but yeah, I'm gonna start fights with. Oh no, what did I do? Did I go backwards or forwards? Oh, whatever. Okay. No, we're being distracted. We've got 14 minutes left. I can do this. I'm a handheld. There's a funny side effect of me going through my grief last year. I'm like so much more tactile now. I'm so much more like, no, I need a hug. I need my handheld. And like, I need a cuddle. I'm so much more like that now. How strange is that? How weird. Anyway.
See a way of...
That's not an invitation for any of you lot. If you ever see me like around London or whatever, don't come up and cuddle me. Ask first and I will probably say yes. I'm not sure. I'm actually... No, I'm not a nice person. I'm not a nice person. I may be nicer than you would think, but still not like a good or nice person.
I didn't want to be myself. I didn't want to make anything. I didn't feel creative. And as time has moved on, I have a desire to create and to tell stories, but I don't really want it to be about myself as a character or myself or my relationship or my personal life. You know, I've always been drawn to things that make people curious and finding ways of connecting people with their interests. And
I accept. I will come onto your stupid little podcast, Ned Fulmer. Invite me on. I'll come onto your podcast. There is like 5 spiders on my window. Get a life, nature. I will come onto your podcast and I won't be friendly. I won't be... That's not true. That's not true. I'd probably be friendly. I'd probably be all right. Would I? Might roast you a little bit for looking like Mark Zuckerberg. But I kind of have a soft spot for Mark Zuckerberg right now. I don't know why. I'm part of the problem. Anyway, I'll come onto your podcast. Why does no one invite me to do anything? Surely it's not my personality getting in the way of things. Surely it's not the way that I just start fights with absolutely anyone. But the reality of the situation, guys, is like my best friend says to me frequently, being friends with you, you have to expect to be in the firing line at least like once a day. I say sorry if I overstep. I say sorry. I don't do it randomly. I am just Dennis from It's Always Sunny. Anyway.
So I came up with I don't know, I see myself more as like a host and more as just a vehicle for other people's stories.
Perfect. I love talking about myself. Invite me onto your podcast. Pay me to come out to wherever you are, LA or whatever. Please, someone throw me a bone. I want to do more stuff with other YouTubers. It's not my fault that they're almost all of them are so annoying. It's not my fault. It's a skill. It sounds like a skill issue on their behalf. Why does no one like me? Why don't you like me? Chapter 1, my first period. I'm having women problems right now. I think that's why I'm so hyper.
I don't know. Maybe I can, because of what I've gone through and my past.
I love the detached language though. What I've gone through in my past versus like what I did to someone, and then I have to live with the ramifications, the pitfalls, the consequences of my own actions. What is that? Did anyone see that TikTok of the guys in their van like smoking a joint as Donald Trump went by? And they're like, oh, look, here's the mug now, brev, it's a Trump ting, innit? In England, obviously, not American, a Trump ting, innit? Anyway.
Like, connect with people and empathize with people.
Empathize with Alizee yeezy. Challenge fucking impossible.
What?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just, you think you're interesting enough?
Yes. That's what I'm saying. But that's why he wants to be the host, right? Because he's not interesting enough by himself. It's like Sean Evans. Like, this is why no one invites me to anything. Apropos of nothing, I'm firing shots, and Sean Evans just caught a stray for zero reason. He's not exactly captivating himself. That's why his thing is he gets the person I stop. And I want to do karaoke in a car, TM legally distinct from carpool karaoke. I want to do that, right? But like, the guest should be the focus of the episodes, and yet you know that every episode is just going to be like, I could have like Joji. Could I? Probably. He would so fully love me. Like, imagine me singing Shut the Fuck Up at Joji and him being like, I tried to escape, pink guy, get me out. I've locked the car doors. He's like, let me out of this car. Like, I could have Joji on and I would still find some way to make it all about me. Maybe people want that though. What am I clicking for? I'm so hyper right now, guys. I'm in a silly mood. Oh, that's another thing. I'm now in a position where I am going to start doing the docuseries things, and I am wondering, I don't think there's points in doing Kickstarters for the stuff that I want to do, because I don't necessarily know like if they would do well or not. And then if they don't do well, say you have a Kickstarter where it's like, you know, 500 quid to go towards like a docu-series that you want to do or whatever. If you don't meet that target, then you don't get the money. So it's a bit like, what's the point of that? But obviously extra funding would be appreciated. Like every little helps, because my videographer, don't let him hear this, my videographer takes the piss, mate. He's always like, it's mate's race, and I'm like, it's still an eyesore. Regardless, I'm going to do them anyway, even if it will financially ruin me, like the Paul Breach mockumentary. Not really. That's like an in-universe joke that I'm going to have going on in my mockumentary series. That the Paul Breach mockumentary blacklisted me from the industry, got me like a restraining order from Jackmate. Paul Breach himself sued me, and it just financially devastated me. All not true, obviously. Well, but I am wondering, like, if there's even any point doing Kickstarter, or if I should just be like, look, I'm doing like some docuseries. I do have a Ko-fi now, so if anyone, like, any money that I got from the Ko-fi would go into like doing much more high production value. Like, I'll actually be back on camera again, so you guys can see my beautiful face. Oh, I'm having such a glow up right now. So I don't know. There's that. Like, if people wanted to support my channel in some way, especially because. It feels beggy though. Is it beggy to be like, hey, if my audience who likes me wants to get involved in any little way possible? I mean, even if like I do a docuseries and like, you know, you guys just liked, commented, shared the video, that's amazing already. But I guess if anyone wants to go a little bit the extra route, I do have a Ko-fi. I feel like beggy and with saying it. Same time though, YouTube is cooked. The thing about people's views being down because YouTube are no longer counting the desktop views if you use ad blocker is true. I had it confirmed by my SEO guy, like it is true. So that's great. And CPM is like fucked right now too. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is if anyone wants, you know, to put a little bit of money towards me getting a meal deal whilst I'm like, you know, racing up and down the country, filming my docuseries or like looking for aliens or doing my true crime documentaries, whatever. I've actually got, I want to do like a travel thing. I want to do like a dark tourism thing. I want to do a lot of things. I'm just going to do them now. Because screw it, who cares about saving up for a future? World's probably going to end in like 2 years' time anyway, right? So it's fine. Anyway, let's finish this bloody video.
No, I don't.
You think other people?
I think other people would be interesting. And then
hell yeah, I'm right here, dude. Let me come into your podcast, please.
that's regardless of whether I think I'm interested. I don't want to talk about my personal life or my family. Like, I want to keep our children out of the spotlight. I keep our dating lives private. Like, it's not a good idea to, for my mental health at least, but I think also in general, to sort of make your whole life your brand.
I agree. I've said this for years. Like, crazy that it took all of that, you know, for you to realize this. You going through all of that. A bit crazy, but hey, it is what it is, right?
I want to make stuff that helps people learn things, make stuff that helps people like empathize with others. And, you know, the idea behind the podcast is to tell stories of other people's challenging times.
Guys, in the nicest way possible, go flood his comment section with, oh my God, you should totally get big Alizee yeezy to come on your podcast. It'll be great. She's such a nice person. She's so loving and kind and warm and personable. And then he will look me up and then see this video and be like, absolutely fucking not. And I was a brash, awful British person. Wait, also it'll be in LA, wouldn't it? Yeah, I don't think, no offense guys, I don't really, America's not really on the bucket list right now. Not sure how safe it is. Why do I feel hedgy about saying that? It's clearly not like that safe to go to right now. Like, I'm a woman, maybe give that one, wait, we can do it on Zoom. Ned, we can so do it on Zoom. Then I don't even need to, like, you know, make that much of an effort. Let's so do a podcast on Zoom, Ned. He would absolutely hate me.
And how they overcame them. Because if there's one thing I noticed is that people really seem to care about the train wreck that I caused.
There we go. That you caused. Congratulations. Well done, man. Well done.
My rock bottom was I think the moment for me is you like sent me a text that night that was like, I don't think we can get past this. And it's just sort of like my whole world crashed. I was like, oh, right.
Crazy, isn't it? That part of him clearly thought that they could just work through it. Cheaters always think that though. And then sometimes, I'm not saying he's done this, but like on Made in Chelsea, this awful wet spoon of a human being called Harvey Armstrong, whose biggest offense to me isn't that he cheated on Emily Blackwell, who's not that nice of a person, to be quite frank. It's more just like he's so incredibly boring and monotonous, and I don't understand like why he was on Main Chairs in the first place, and I don't really understand like why girls were falling over him. So boring, so monotonous, so obviously wearing a toupee. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I'm not saying that. Like, toupees they've become a long way. It's kind of crazy, but he so obviously was and just pretending that not me, starting fights with people again. He cheated on Emily, and then he was being like, we can work through this. I know we can. Why are you giving up on us? Why are you throwing away our relationship? You threw away the relationship that, like, as soon as you put your dick in someone else, you fucking weirdo. These people are so weird. I'm not saying that Ned's done that, but it's so surreal to me how they will be, like, almost expecting the other person to just, like, carry that scar forever and just be with them, and yet they're constantly reminded of the fact that, like, they did that to them. You know what I mean? It's just, yeah.
It was ironic. That weekend I was at a wedding and they like played our wedding song as their dance. It was like black tie. Everyone's very fancy. I just like stepping away to cry every 20 minutes. Well, we
You can see in her face, she clearly thinks you're an idiot, man.
only have a couple more minutes. I know we could keep on talking. Maybe we will.
Isn't it crazy that my video is probably going to be longer than the fucking podcast? Professional yapper.
Are we together?
We are not together. We live separately.
Good for you, babe. Good for you.
Are we dating other people?
I mean, I'm open to dating other people.
Find your himbo.
I mean, yes,
Yeah.
we are dating other people.
Why is he dating anyone else? Ugh. Sorry. Okay, sorry. I do think, like, obviously people can change. But I would, and this isn't me blaming a woman for a man's actions, but I would side-eye if one of my friends was like, oh yeah, I've been dating Ned Fulmer previously from the Try Guys, the artist formerly known as the Wife Guy. If one of my friends said that to me, I would side-eye and have a heavy word, because it's like the dude's whole brand was being family value, family man, wife guy, and he cheated on his wife in a way that went so publicly, and it was a scandal. It was like a huge viral moment. The exposure on it was crazy, and obviously people can change. However, to like willingly put yourself through the ringer, and I don't get it. I mean, let's be real. To be fair, it's fair to say he's not exactly my type anyway. I think we all recognize that, right? And I'm probably definitely not his type. I'm not anyone's type. I sincerely believe the only reason I'm probably in a relationship is my boyfriend must just be like a glutton for punishment or whatever. No, he finds me funny. He thinks I'm a whirlwind. He finds me funny. So I guess that's going for me, right? Inevitably, there are going to be women who, you know, like Ned and want to date him and stuff. But how would that not put you off? It's not even that, oh yeah, he cheated, but it was such a huge scandal. It was such a huge viral moment. How would that not... And I get the whole, like, seeing the person beyond that. Meeting people in real life, realizing they're not one-dimensional caricatures. You hear it all the time about people that have met Bonnie Blue. Bonnie Blue got punched in a nightclub the other day. Well, we're not even going to get into that. You hear that about people, right? Sure, I get it. And yet. For me personally, I'd be a bit like, no, I'm good, dude. Not that he's offering anyway.
You know, I know that sounds so silly, you know, but I love just going into my pottery studio and just sitting at my wheel and getting so dirty and not filming it and just doing what I want to do and making mistakes. And
you could do ASMR pottery. You don't even have to talk. People would tune in for that. People would like that if she wanted to do social. But I think it shows like a particular type of character and like strength of character for her to be like, nah, I did the influencing thing. That's fine. I'm okay. I don't need that in my life, and I'm happy retaining my privacy and all that kind of stuff. I feel like that's commendable. I feel she's very emotionally intelligent. And she seems to be in a, obviously this, I'm just getting a snippet of her life. This is an hour out of her life. 1/24th of a day. One, God knows what else, I can't do maths, of like a month. Yet she has presented and come across as quite healthy. That's not to say she won't, she obviously has her moments, right? But she seems to be in a good place. So I hope she's gotten what she needed to out of doing this.
I feel like sometimes, and we don't have to put this part in, but it is a valid reason. I feel like sometimes people who are on the internet, there is another standard of beauty for people who are on the internet. And I don't want to hold myself to that standard anymore.
You are glowing and you are beautiful. I know what she means though. Me with my I'm literally not even on camera. And I'm just like, freshly Botox. Not even that fresh, like a month or so ago. No, I do my Botox for me. I do my Botox for me because I like not being able to move my forehead. That's not even true, actually. Like, when I was first getting Botox, it was like, I think it was a bit too much. Because, like, bro was really putting, like, 20 injections in my head, like, in my face. I was like, and I got some done by, like, a woman dentist recently. Obviously, always go to a dentist, always go to an actual professional, don't go to whatever. Dentist, go to a dentist. They understand the muscles. She did, like, six injections in my forehead. And it's more natural. I do have some movement. Like, my eyebrows aren't, like, surprised and frozen. It looks fucking great. So I'm just being open and honest about this kind of stuff. I get it for my TMJ as well. I know that, like, everyone online says that they have TMJ. Like, I do though. I get these dreams where, like, in the dreams I can't open my mouth sometimes, and then my jaw is clenching so hard in my dreams that I start spitting shards of teeth out. I have had probably hundreds of dreams like that over my life, and it's like, it's horrible, because then you look in a mirror in the dream and your teeth are all like falling out and stuff, and you're like, oh my god, and you're just spitting. It's like, does anyone get those dreams where you're chewing gum and then it's getting stuck in your teeth and then you're pulling it out and pulling it out and pulling it out? It's just not all coming out. Does anyone else get those dreams? I once had a dream where, like, something was on my ear and I was pulling out my eardrum and my ear was like popping and stuff, and like went deaf, and I was like still, but it was like there was wires in my ear and I was just like pulling and pulling and pulling. Anyway, I totally get what she means. Like, I don't want to be on camera right now until, like, I look a bit more toned and sleeker, because I was very depressed last year and sitting around eating a lot of biscuits. I'm sure some of you noticed my face was a little bit round. Like, I get what she means. Like, why do you think I'm off camera at the moment? Whilst I'm doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu every week, guys. How cool is that? I'm doing yoga and shit. I'm one of those people at the moment. No, I get what she means. I totally get what she means.
I'm going to be 40 this year, and I want to look at myself in the mirror, and I want to.
You look 35, babes.
Say fuck yeah. I don't want to.
You should say that anyway. You look great. She's glowing.
Look at myself in the mirror and
you, Mr. Zuckerberg, shiny head.
Be like, oh my god, are people going to notice that I don't look like I'm 30 anymore? Are people going to think that I look old? Are people going to think that?
No, you look fantastic. I'm sure there's going to be like hundreds of comments in my comment section saying how, like, glowing and how nice Ariel's looking. There is on this video itself.
That this is bad, or this is bad, or this is bad. I love looking in the mirror and being like, you know what? I look great. Yeah. Like, good enough is good enough.
It's a refreshing place to be. Huh?
She does look great, and she's got such a lovely, like, warm, sincere smile as well.
Oh, great. It's so great to be like, I look awesome.
Yeah.
I wonder what that feels like. No, I'm literally joking. I have literally been swatting around the past 2 weeks just looking at myself being like, look at my cheekbones. Oh, if I was like, no, that's so toxic. Fuck it. I don't care. I don't care about, oh, is this too toxic to say anymore? I literally don't care. Because, like, the stuff that I say on this channel is nothing compared to what, like, thousands of other channels are uploading and, like, saying every day about politics. Like, people are saying the craziest shit all of the time. So I'm just going to be real. Sometimes I look at myself in the mirror and I'm like, oh my god, my cheekbones and stuff. If I lost, like, 15 kilograms and maybe, like, added 2 inches to my height, oh, I could have been a model. I've been walking around like that recently. I've been like so full of myself. It's kind of crazy. My friends think it's so funny because they all think that I'm really like, right. I was explaining this to one of my friends the other day, and he was like, "Oh, that's actually so fucking." Because I was being like, like Peep Show, the girl that Jeremy's having the affair with, and she's like, "You love me, she loves me, everyone loves me." Like that's me at the moment, right? And one of my friends has been like, "You're so fucking arrogant, it's so funny." And I was like, "But the thing is I'm actually kind of not though, because none of like my close friends, 80 to 90% of which are men, don't compliment me." The guy, like, because they're kind of, because they're boys, so of course they don't compliment me. Of course they don't go like, "Oh, you look really nice today." Like they don't do that, right? But that's been my whole life of just being a fucking pick me and mainly hanging around with men and also complaining about men and hate men. Yeah. So my close friends, I don't get compliments from. So I compliment myself because other people don't compliment me. And people online compliment me, but that's not the same thing. And it's not, and I don't think you should ever take too much stock, because as soon as you start believing the hype, like in your comment sections, you're going to have to then believe every negative thing someone says about you. And it's just pointless because people don't know you, right? So anyway, I don't take stock in like internet opinions. No offense if you're commenting, being like, "Oh my God, I love you. I like you too," but no offense, right? I'm just saying, I'm mentally healthy with this shit, right? So I compliment myself. And then they hear me compliment myself. They hear me being like, "I'm so funny. I'm so good at this. Oh my God." I'm like, such an Always Sunny. Like Dennis and Mac were acting. It was the episode The Night Man Cometh. And Dennis, like on stage, was like, "I can't believe how much better I am at acting than you are." And my boyfriend laughed and he was like, "That's so you." My boyfriend compliments me, but not enough. Not enough. So I have a habit of just being like, "I look so good today." To be fair, I was with my mates the other night, and I don't see one of them ages, and she was like, "Your cheekbones are looking so good. You look really good right now." And I was like, "I know." People hear me say this shit, and then they're like, "You're so fucking arrogant." And all of my close mates are like, all my male close friends, the girls are obviously a little bit better with this, right? Are like, "We don't compliment you because you have such a big ego as it is, and we don't want it getting any bigger." And I'm like, "No, my ego actually isn't that big. I just have to compliment myself because none of you do." And I explained this to my mate Marco, and he just started laughing. He was like, "No, wait," because he's known me for like 16 years, and he was like, "That's so true, actually." So I think all of them should start giving me nicer compliments, and then I will stop swanning around, because I have to I have to tell myself, I have to be my own hype man. Should we continue? Should we finish this video before I have a fucking mental breakdown?
I don't want to look in the mirror and be like, "I don't look good enough." I don't love that place.
That's the juxtaposition of me. Oh my God, I so could have been a model in like a different life where if like several key things about myself were very different, and yet I don't look good enough.
and I think that being a public person, that you sort of have to look at yourself that way.
Dude, if you're a woman, like obviously men go through it too. Men have their own beauty standards, not negating that, but it is not the fucking same. I saw like people on Reddit, idiot men on Reddit being like, "Oh, it's not as bad for women." And I was like, what parallel universe are you living on where the beauty standard is harder for you? Heroin chic is coming back in, my guy. Perfectly slim influencers like Tana Mojo are getting Manjaro. How do you think that makes like the rest of us women online feel? I don't want to inject myself with nothing other than Botox, apparently. Yeah, Botox my fucking mouth. That's dark. Botox my mouth so I can't eat. Heroin chic is coming back in. How do you think we fucking feel? Yeah, like you do. It's less so for men. Like men really can be whacking on a camera, turn that camera on with like greasy hair, not having Invisalign, not having lip filler. And I'm not. Do you know what? Me pumped up on coffee and nicotine right now. Oh God, I'm too honest. I don't think we should lower the beauty standard for women. I think we should raise it for men. Do you know how fed up I am of seeing men with no lips? Put some 2cc in them. Guys, don't take it seriously. I'm being facetious. I am an entertainer. Is this entertaining for anyone? Comment down below and like this video if you think this is entertaining for anyone at all.
Or at least that was my experience, and I choose not to do that.
Yeah.
More power to you, babe. You are stronger than me.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. For me, I also like love creating, and instead of making pottery, I like making media. So there is this sort of inherent, like, if I'm going to be in it, yeah, you have to kind of think about what you're saying, what you look like, and yeah.
Really?
I want you to be who you are, and I want me to be who I am.
Mm-hmm.
And I want for you to feel like you can be who you are, and I to, feel like you can do that without judgment.
For someone, aka me, who was eye rolling and being like, why is this content? Why has he done this? I think, I don't know, I'm just doing that thing. I get, not to be flippant, I do get Stockholm syndrome very, very easily. I mean, I'm now in a position where I'm like, Body Blue, she's funny. Am I joking? She is funny. The worst people often are, though, again, a very well-established character flaw of mine that you guys know about. I think the worst people are just like the funniest. So he obviously wants to do media and he's not going to stop doing that. And should he, he's like, YouTube is a platform where like anyone can make themselves a platform on it. So it'd be weird to be like, no, he's not allowed to, when there's, again, countless other channels on here who are, doing less than great things. So he's just going to do what he wants to do, and the only way for him to move forward with this would have been, this needed to be the first episode, a sit-down conversation with his ex-wife about what happened. There is the element of, does everything need to be content? And yet their relationship was content, and the scandal was even content for a lot of people, including me, right? Because I did some videos. I did a video on like the cookbook and the Try Guys book when I was just doing purely book content at the time, right? But at the end of this podcast, I am sitting here. I've still got my thoughts and feelings about everything that it needs to be a podcast, but he's going to do what he wants to do. So, far be it for me to tell someone not to do something, especially when many people would turn around and be like to me, hey, don't write a novella about Piers Morgan and sausage roll. Vegan sausage rolls. I think maybe this has been good for them both to do. Dare I say that? It's been good for them both to do, to sit down and have this conversation and the public see where like she's at and stuff. Not that the public necessarily needs to see, but they're offering up this information by themselves. I don't know. What do you guys think so far?
And I want the same for myself.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I think that by kind of moving forward more as individuals, we'll each be able to kind of be the best version of ourselves, and to kind of discover maybe parts of ourselves that are less to the forefront when you're like really in a relationship. But that's for.
Oh yeah, especially if they spend all of like their 20s and early 30s in a relationship. They've now got to find out who they are. Well, they obviously have in the last 3 years, who they are outside of that almost enforced dynamic. Be interesting. It's an interesting character study as someone who is very detached from it.
Thank you again to Ariel. Thank you for your honesty, your vulnerability, your directness. This truly meant a lot to me, and thank you for watching.
You are so welcome, babes. Can't wait for you to see this, and obviously invite me onto your podcast via Zoom. Well, so that was that. Now, this is on my incognito window. So a lot of this is going to be the recommended. There he is, Sean Evans, hot one. Epstein. I guess this is what's recommended. Hey, that's the Celebs Go Dating guy. I guess this is what's recommended. I've been watching a bit of Celebs Go Dating, a little bit. Kerry Katona is like so funny. Anyway, this is going to be the stuff that is recommended without me being signed in. Ariel's not buying Ned's manipulation. What was I saying? Manipulation attempts. Body language analysis. Now, well, I'm not a body language expert, but also isn't a lot of that quite subjective anyway. This podcast should not exist. Why I cheated on my wife. I've watched the whole thing, and I'm very aware that one of my character traits is it takes me like, even with my friends, when I see them, it takes me like a good half an hour to warm up to anyone. I kind of do this thing where like I won't initially really feel comfortable hugging someone when I first see them. I'll do it, but it'll be kind of like a one-handed, like very quick embrace. And then by the end of like hanging out with someone after a few hours, I'm kind of like No, I just want to hang out more, and I'll give them like a big warm friendly hug. So I'm very aware that I have this thing in me where if you just like force proximity onto me, after half an hour I warm up. I warmed up to this podcast. I felt that within me. So that makes me maybe less objective in my analysis. Maybe I'm a bit more biased because I've warmed up now to him. There was certainly a lot of moments where he was being very detached, but then there were moments where he was owning it and, you know, saying, I caused this train wreck to happen, which I found interesting. And I'm a very cynical person. I wouldn't be like 100% cynical because obviously he's come back to YouTube, because what else is he going to do, guys? He was on YouTube for like how long with the Try Guys? What else is he realistically going to do? Like, for YouTube, the barrier to entry is making a Google account and having a webcam. That's it. You barely even need editing skills. Critical doesn't edit his videos. He just lets them go and leaves them up, you know. Like, the barrier to entry for YouTube is almost non-existent. The barrier to entry in the media industry, especially if you've got a massive scandal behind you, is going to be a lot harder. So obviously he was going to come back to YouTube eventually, just 3 years later. I found it interesting. I won't lie, I found it interesting. I found it quite human. Let's go through some of the comments though. To be a fly on the wall in the Try Guys office today. I hope Ariel was kicking her feet reading these comments, 100%. Do you forgive him for cheating on you? Fuck no, we love to see it. Excellent. This video should be titled Exploiting My Ex-Wife Trauma to Make Myself Feel Relevant Again. I don't agree. Do you know, I don't agree. Sorry, babes, I don't agree. Because Ariel doesn't want to be back in the influencer space. She didn't need to do this if she didn't want to. And she's like a little bit older than him. So I don't think we can sit here and be like, oh, he forced her into this and like he's exploiting his ex-wife. Like she's agreed to do it. And if that's helped her in some way and she's worked through some feelings, even if it's as simple as like she's now let the public know that like, fuck no, she doesn't forgive him and that's cathartic for her, then good for her. That's her prerogative. That's her prerogative. So I don't necessarily agree with that. Ned sounding like a neutral third party interviewing Ariel as if he had nothing to do with it. Why is he even there? I agree. He was doing that at some points and then other points he wasn't. Damn, that really sucks that happened to you. Ned survived the whole time. You didn't realize until then. Yes, Ariel called him out 100%. Ned aged 50 years. Ariel was glowing. Supporting Ariel is true the only reason we're here. Her saying ex-husband was the best part of the episode. He had a 10-month affair. He acts like he cheated one time. Dude has a whole girlfriend that was his employee. I'm glad whoever edited this didn't cut the long awkward pauses. It seemed uncut. Shows how Ariel can stand in uncomfortable tension, hold her own. Agree. Totally agree. Seeing Ariel really rip into Ned was quite satisfying. Sure, there is that, but she's also clearly like in a place where they are coexisting for the kids. The fact Ariel found out by fans on the internet is crazy. Yes, it is. Her saying my children and my kids have our kids is very telling. I don't know. You can tell he knows he shot himself in the foot here. She's thriving. She's healing without him. You can tell by his face, body language. He's threatened by her. By the fact that she's so gracefully thriving without needing him. He hates that. Is it threatened? I think he wants to get back together with her and just knows that door is fully shut. But for him, that door is always going to be open because men like that are like that. So I don't even know if it's like he feels threatened by her because we're not, okay, if I'm going to be like slightly toxic here, we're not talking about like this super masculine alpha male dude being threatened by an independent woman, are we? Anyway. Proof that his wife was and still is the most interesting thing about him. Ariel was so lovely to listen to in this episode. Yeah, probably this guy stinks. The mental relief I feel knowing she hasn't stayed with him is enormous. I can't believe he's re-interviewing her about him traumatizing her. That is the element where I'm like, does everything need to be content? But again, if she has gotten something out of this, then good for her. That's on her. That's her prerogative. That's her autonomy and liberty. Him calling it the scandal and her calling it your affair is all we need to say. 100%, yeah. I just know Ned is reminded of the absolute queen he fumbled every single day. This is awkward. It's Ariel being unflinchingly confident, sure of her own worth, and Ned laughing uncomfortably, waiting for her to declare that she still loves and forgives him, but slowly realizing that's not going to happen. I mean, I don't think he's really waiting for that. It's been like 3 years. I don't think so. Again, this is that element of like, we are only really seeing a small snippet of their lives, and it has been 3 years later. I'm sure that he thought that in the early stages. I think the look on his face is he knows that the door is shut. It's not coming back. Oh my God, Joe Sugg has had a baby, and this is how I find out. Congratulations, Joe Sugg. Ned walks to the concrete couple could run. I think returning to a normal 9 to 5 would be a better career move. I don't think he's capable of it right now, dude. Like, what, a company that he would interview, he's probably tried. Again, the kind of proving their point about audiences online maybe only seeing people as like this one-dimensional caricature. it's been 3 years. That's like almost 1,000 days. That's a long fucking time. He's probably tried that. And all an employer needs to do is Google his name afterwards and see what comes up about him. And I think a lot of companies, like, people, this is the contradictory nature of it though, because like people have affairs in the workplace, people have affairs like all the fucking time, right? But because he has so much weight attached to his name, I think for a lot of companies that would give them pause. Not that they would care about it on a moralistic standpoint, because who the fuck would they? Like, so many people, like 40% of people have affairs or cheat, right? So it's really not a moralistic standpoint, ethical viewpoint. It's yikes. This is negative attention, and companies don't like that. If, you know, got found out, oh, he's at this, because you know that there would be a subsection of people on the internet who would give companies grief over it, being like, you've employed him and he cheated on his wife with and there's the added thing of cheating with an employee who was an underling of him, right? It happens in a lot of companies. Like, people shag their bosses all the time, and everyone's pretending that isn't a thing that happens. Let's not even get into the paradigm X, but people pretend that's not a thing that happens. But again, the attention and the weight of that, it being such a public scandal, most companies aren't going to want to give them a go. Like, come on. The internet is not here for this. There will be people who are here for this, though. And like I say, I'm so bored of YouTube. If he gets in my emails being like, okay, let's do a Zoom interview. Guys, don't think less of me, but I'm so doing it. I'm bored of attempting to have some form of morals and integrity online. I'm bored of it. When I see every fucking podcast out there is getting like Bonnie Blue on and not giving a shit, and what does morals and integrity online give you? Kind of nothing. I was complaining on my second channel about this, about how like every 6 months BetterHelp comes sniffing around me like, are you going to accept us yet? Here's more money. And every single time I have to be like, no. But then I'm getting adverts where Lewis Capaldi is talking about how he uses, firstly, as if Lewis Capaldi is using BetterHelp, as if any celebrity is talking to a random person online about their deep-seated fears and feelings and emotion, as if pull the other one. But Lewis Capaldi is with doing BetterHelp stuff, and I'm here just like, no, I need that money, but no, I'm going to turn you down. And if you come back and offer even more, I'm still going to tell you, leave me alone. Having morals and integrity online gets you nowhere. No one wants to work with you anyway. Because it's not even my morals, it's my personality, I think. People just don't fuck with my personality, I guess. No one wants to work for you. No one wants to... dodgy companies are always like trying to offer you money for stuff, and you have to, well, you should say no, and then you do, and then you're like, I'm barely scraping by with rent. So all of this is to say that if Ned Fulmer really gets in my DMs being like, come on my podcast, I'm going to say yes. So be it. So sorry if that makes me fall short in people's estimations. Anyway, no, guys, like, what did you think of this video? What did you honestly think of it? Because I know that there's going to be like that knee-jerk reaction upon seeing the subject of this video, the knee-jerk reaction that I had, and I'm still like, I understand why he's doing a podcast. The low barrier for entry, the fact it's already got 65,000 subscribers, which like on a 1 hour video, it's had 500,000 views in a fucking day. He's already been monetized, like, no doubt. That's going to make he's already met the 3,000 hours requirement. That's going to make some decent change for him in such for him, easy way. So I understand why, like, he's come back to the internet, but I also understand why this had to be the first video. Because the thing is like, if the first video had been the interview with the author that he was talking about, people would be like, you're not going to explain yourself. You're not going to, like, it's a damned if you do. I'm not empathizing. I'm just stating the facts of it's a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation, where if this is something that he clearly wants to do, he had to get this one out of the way first. Is it exploitative? Sure. Do I think that he necessarily thought it was exploitative to do this? No. Do I feel like April feels exploited? No. So it's like, well, far be it from us as the audience to then be like, but he's exploiting you when this is someone that she's lived with for the past like 1,000 days and co-parents kids with and has moved on in her life with. You know, I don't think we should fall into the pitfalls of just seeing her as this one-dimensional woman who was cheated on, because she's clearly so much more than that. Anyway, what do you think? Do you guys think I'm just waffling? Has this been a terrible video? Probably. Let me know in the comment section below. If you want to maybe help me fund my... Do you know what's crazy? If I just took on one BetterHelp sponsorship, I could make like one docuseries. But instead, here I am like, I've got a Ko-fi, guys, if anyone cares. No. Let me know what you thought of this video. Let me know what you think of my ramblings. Thank you guys so much for listening and watching. I really appreciate that you guys stick with me and my... clear mental issues. I'm It's clearly reverting back to, I'm just going to do what I want on this channel, who cares? So we'll see how that works out for me. But I do have like some more pop culture philosophy videos in the pipeline. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching and listening, and I will see you all soon. Mwah, 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 kisses, bisous, bisous. Goodbye. I got a French boyfriend, leave me alone. Bisous, bisous, goodbye, au revoir, sayonara, goodbye.